So now that we have our anchor bead, we're gonna move on to our connection beads, our second and third bead. And the way that we're gonna do this is I'm gonna continue this sectioning the same amount of hair as I did with my anchor bead, but I'm gonna be incorporating more hair and then dropping some more hair out. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna continue this line. And clean sectioning is really everything. Setting yourself up for success in the beginning. I know I mentioned this with my anchor bead, but this H, the top of the H, and the bottom of the H are a 1 inch and a 1/2 inch. So I always use this tool. This is like my golden rule for when I'm using, when I'm making my weft application really clean. So I'm gonna be doing a 1/2 inch section. So I'm just gonna cross that off, section that out. And now I'm ready, I've got my section ready. Now I'm going to drop out 30 to 50% from my previous section. So I'm not gonna incorporate all the hair because that would overwhelm the bead. So because we're adding hair and dropping hair, it's gonna stay a consistent amount. So now I'm dropping out 30 to 50% of my first section of my anchor bead, and I'm incorporating it in with the new hair. Same rules apply. I'm holding my looper tool nice and close to the scalp. I've isolated one bead, pull the hair through. And you'll also notice too, I'm keeping my hands really close to her scalp. And the reason why is if I pull down and then I'm pushing beads up, I'm gonna get a little bit of backcombing. So pro tip when you're doing this is make sure that you keep your hands almost like you're doing a really tight braid. I'm keeping my hands almost always connected to her scalp. Then I'm gonna take this ribbon of hair, and you'll notice too that I'm always pulling this ribbon of hair on the same parting. And that's gonna keep your beadwork really clean. Pushing this bead forward. And again, this is gonna sit off base. So I push it until I feel a little, until it's at the beginning of the section, until I feel a little bit of pushback. And then I come slightly off of it so that it sits off base. And if you're curious why we chose off base, it's so it's comfortable for the client. This is gonna feel like nothing in her hair. If beads are too tight, that's what makes it really uncomfortable. Again, that test, bead test, I'm moving it. And this is a nice even spacing. On to bead number 3. Again, I'm going to draw this line here. Then I'm going to measure a 1/2 inch. So our connecting beads, our second, third, fourth, however many beads it takes you to get to that back center is always going to be a 1/2 inch. Now I'm ready to drop out 30 to 50%. Opening up my looper tool, placing the hair through the center. You'll also notice too, a little pro tip I have is you'll notice I always hang up my looper tool on my pinky. I found this through trial and error, real life in the salon. That way I prevent it ever from beads falling off my looper tool and spilling all over your salon floor. And now we're really starting to see our platform come alive. We see this nice spacing. So now that we've done our anchor bead, our second and third bead, I'm gonna continue this row until I hit the center, and then I'll see you guys back for another one.